every time Dean's phone rings.
That's fair.
But they just got like a generic rock riff that sounded enough similar that people would just kind of like assume that that's what it's supposed to be.
This is how you can tell that this isn't like a show that was made with very modern kids in mind, because you wouldn't hear our phones nowadays. You just have to like listen closely until you hear something vibrating.
And then we're going to have a break in our notes here, because I have a question that came in from a friend of the pod / past guest, Francis, wrote in with a question this week.
Oh my gosh, we can do that?
Yeah. Francis made a video about this, and I said, we happen to be recording this week, and she said, please ask your guests about it. I want to know what they say. And I thought this was especially great because Vail and Jaden are both Gen Z. So, Dean has this cheap little flip phone from 2007, and he falls into the lake, and then Joe comes along, and how is his phone still ringing? Phones literally were not waterproof back in the day. The first water-resistant phone came out in 2010. It was the Motorola Defy. I went down a rabbit hole here. So what are our theories on this?
I think I actually commented on that video. Let me just figure out what I said.
I think you did too.
My theory, his jeans or his pants are so tight that no water could get in.
Yours is better than mine.
That's amazing.
I think I said the real answer is that the creators forgot that phones aren't waterproof, and the fun answer is Guardian Angel.
Yes, I love that. For a quick poll, what was everyone? Does everyone remember what their first phone was? Like what kind of phone they had first?
I was 13, and it was a Samsung.
Okay.
Oh man, mine was like an $80 on sale Costco Acer.
Oh, I love that.
Without a plan at the age of like 14 going on
okay.
15.
Okay.
Mine was a Samsung something or other. I got it when I was 18.
Yeah, you were one of the last people I knew who didn't have a cell phone.
Yeah, I've only ever owned 2 phones in my life, and that was because I had to be able to pay for it myself before I got one. That was like the rule in my family.
You had just an iPod for like the longest time. I got my first phone for my birthday when I was able to start paying for the plan myself. And it was a Motorola. It was not the Motorola Defy. But it was a Motorola. Dean is alive, which is good. It would be a much shorter show if Dean had just straight up died here.
Yeah, we'd have to figure out how to cheat death a little earlier than planned.
He's probably hyperthermic and he's shot, so he's probably also in shock. So he's not doing super great. He's not looking super healthy. But Joe doctors him up, pulls the bullet out, stitches him back up, even though he complains the entire time like an ungrateful ass. Just be nice to her for 3 seconds. She's stitching up your bullet wound.
She's pulling the bullet out when she doesn't have to.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you don't actually have to pull the bullet out, always.
I feel like probably should in the shoulder, generally, but yeah, I don't know. She probably could have just not. Jean was going to see Bobby next. I'm sure Bobby would have did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, she seemed really cold when she went out there, so she's alone at night at like 3 a.m. without anyone, trying to see if, like, what happened to both the brothers.
Yeah, after Sam just knocked her out and, like, attacked her, she's still, like, going out to go find Dean afterwards. Like, yeah, she like, went out of her way to be helpful, and Dean is just so rude to her. Joe asks if demons ever tell the truth, and Dean says, like, sometimes if they know it'll, like, mess with your head, they might tell you the truth. What did they say? And Joe's like, I don't want to talk about it. And at first I was like, oh yeah, she doesn't want to talk about her dad. And I was like, oh wait, what about the, like, having a crush on Dean stuff? Like, that's what she was also referring to. Dean says probably the next, like, closest hunter is going to be the next target, and the next closer that he, and therefore probably Sam, and therefore Meg, knows is in South Dakota. Obviously, that's Bobby. Joe wants to come. That's also not super close. Like, there's a big, like, range that all these hunters are providing coverage for. Like, if Bobby's the next closest hunter, I Google Maps this, and it's a 6-hour drive from Duluth to Sioux Falls.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Yeah, like, that's pretty far.
That's only the next closest hunter that they know
that they know of, which, to be fair, they don't know that many people, but
yeah.
Hopefully there's 1 or 2 more between then. I'm sure Bobby would know a lot more. Dean says Joe is not going with him. If she tries to follow him, he will tie her back to the pole and leave her. That's not a good thing to say to someone. Like, she just experienced something traumatic, and he just threatened to, like, do it to her as well. And he's not possessed, so it's just him being an ass. But Joe does relent and is like, fine, I won't go, and hands over some pain meds, and Dean looks super hot in his singular t-shirt with his sleeve, like, rolled over his shoulder. No wonder Joe looks so sad when he tosses her and I'll call you later.
It's like, oh gosh, I should have taken a picture.
Because, you know, I'm all about that single t-shirt, like, upper arm, and then, like, the sleeves, like, roll up so we get, like, the full bicep. I'm very much here for this.
Hell yeah.
This is very much for me.
And isn't this also one of the only times where he's like in one layer of clothes, or like, no?
It's so rare. It's so rare, and I just have to enjoy it when it's given to me. Dean says, "I'll call you later," and he leaves, and then Joe says, "No, you won't," because she knows that Meg/Sam told the truth, that doesn't love her.
Aw, sweetie.
But
Still think
also,
she should
like,
have come, though.
yeah, and also Dean better fucking call her. Like, it's rude as heck to just not update her on what happens after this. Like, at least call her and tell her, "Oh yeah, Sam was possessed and we got the demon out of him. Sorry about that."
He's cool now. How's the trauma?
Sam better call with an apology also. Like, even though it's not really Sam, like, I feel like he has to apologize.
Yeah.
Dean tries to call Bobby, but Sam's already there, and he cut the phone lines, because who knows how long Dean was, like, in the water, unconscious or whatever. Bobby lets Sam in, and I remember being so scared the first time I watched this. Like, if Bobby just opens the door and lets Sam in, I'm like, oh no, Bobby's gonna die. But, like, it's Bobby. Of course he immediately knew something was up when Sam showed up alone, unannounced.
We can rely on Bobby to not be stupid.
Yeah, Bobby knows demons, like, better than anybody. Like, yeah, like, sure, demons haven't been super common up to this point, but, like, if there are demons, Bobby's the one who's dealing with them.
Bobby has, like, the mother's sixth sense.
Yeah, he gets him and Sam some beers, and Bobby toasts to John for them. Let's just not toast to John. But Bobby laced the beer with holy water, and I like to think that Bobby laces all of his beer with holy water, and he just, like, first to drink even his own beers that way, like, even when he's by himself, like, he just, like, pours a little holy water, and just to be extra sure, he's not...
That is so in character, because this man is paranoid.
Yeah, so Sam, like, goes down, because the holy water is, like, burning him from the inside, and then Bobby just knocks him out. He wakes up to Dean punching him in the face. He's tied to a chair under the devil's trap on Bobby's living room ceiling.
I'm so sorry, but what are you willing to bet that the holy water in the beer has never paid off until now?
Probably a lot.
Just like, haha! I told you it'd come in handy.
One day, this will work.
20 years ago, I did this.
But wait, don't they also have the tattoos that's supposed to stop them from being possessed right now? Or is
They don't have them yet.
I guess because it's never really been an issue up to this point.
I think they show up in, like, season 3 or 4. I'll definitely be keeping a lookout. Like, the first time that we hear or see of it, I will definitely be pointing it out. But they don't have it yet, and I think just because they don't really know. Like, demon possession actually hasn't really been a hunting problem until recently. If you'll remember at the end of the last season, Bobby said, like, usually he only hears about 3 or 4 possessions a year total, and, like, in the last year up to the season 1 finale, he'd heard of, like, 27. Possessions just weren't that common as to be such a problem.
Yeah, and at this point in the show, we're still seeing demons as this, like, insurmountable threat that's just, like, a game changer, and it's just so huge every time we see even one. They're not really to that point in the show yet where they're just, like, a nuisance.
To have exercised one and have it come back, like, it's just, like, not something I feel like they've had to deal with before, so I feel like that's, like, why they haven't, like, found the anti-possession tattoo thing yet.
I would think that John would have, like, had it as soon as possible with them, since, you know, hunters.
John's a shitty hunter.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Don't get into his myth.
And they weren't, like, seeking out demons either. They were literally just, like, in between normal hunts getting burgers, so...
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, and, like, they see demons as, like, way above their pay grade even, like, to be dealing with, but...
Cute, so young, so inexperienced.
They toss some more holy water on Sam, and Dean still hasn't learned Latin, so Bobby is doing the exorcism, because Sam obviously can't do it. Dean, you should really just learn the exorcism. The exorcism is not going great, and this is when we learn that the demon can lock itself inside Sam's body via that little burn mark that Joe pointed out. That it looks like a Q, but it breaks Bobby's devil's trap, and it's gotta do permanent structural damage to Bobby's house, right? Like, I would be afraid to go up on the second floor. I'd be afraid to stay in that house. Like, the whole house shifts, and the whole ceiling cracks. That's gotta be structural damage. I'm really concerned about Bobby living in that house now.
Bobby, call a contractor.
For real. Like, that's gotta be the equivalent of, like, a tornado, like, going by your house.
That's
and, like,
probably
the
why...
whole thing, like, shifting.
Oh my god, yes. That's probably why the people in town, like, find Bobby so weird, is because, like, you know, one day he just shows up, he's like, yeah, my entire, like, upper level is cracked to hell. Like,
Yeah,
What
there's
did
no
you
explanation.
do? Did you throw a rager? Like, what's going on over there?
yeah.
Creepy bearded man with a cap and living in the woods in a cabin. Like, what is wrong with you, man?
Meg is able to, like, fully get up now. No longer stuck to that chair. It just immediately starts beating the shit out of Dean. But finally, Dean clues in that this is Meg. I mean, okay, so we've had this conversation how we never learned, like, what Meg's actual name is. Like, Meg was the name of the girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, the next time that we see Meg and someone else, like, she just goes by Meg forever. Here in this scene, Meg says it's Sam now. Like, she corrects Dean. So
Maybe that's just like her MO.
I think her inclination was that she was just gonna, like, wear Sam around for a while, killing all these hunters, and she was just gonna be Sam.
Yeah.
Maybe
I wonder why she starts going by Meg.
maybe that
like,
girl's also named Meg.
Oh my gosh, I didn't think of that before.
What if
has a
Rachel
type.
Minor Meg is also named Meg? That would make the most sense. That's my new headcanon. From here on out, that's canon.
Alright, cool. That would be so funny.
Meg 2.0 was also named Meg something. I mean, she also uses the name Meg Masters, but, like, I'm gonna say it's Meg from here on
Maybe
out.
that's her type. She's like a serial killer, but really specific. They have to be named Meg Masters. I can't do anything else, guys.
I always thought it was because the brothers were too dumb to try and associate another name with her.
I mean,
So whenever they saw
probably.
her, they were just like, Meg. And she was like, okay, sure. If, like,
That's what I thought
what you wanna call
too.
me.
I mean, probably.
I mean, that's probably what happened, but the other thing is a bit funnier.
Absolutely.
Also, probably they just wanted us to remember that Meg was the same person. They probably thought we were too dumb.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just thought it was interesting that she did correct Dean and say it's Sam. I mean, that's probably just to mess with his head, also. But
I mean, like, imagine the plot twist. Like, actually, my name is Hwatharada.
Meg says that she saw John in hell, and she came back mostly just to torture Dean. But no one can torture him like Dean can torture himself, and he's just gonna have to live knowing deep down he can't save Sam. She's got him. It's too late.
Oh, she's right. Okay.
I mean, yeah, she's really figured Dean out. Bobby burns off the binding link, and Meg smokes the hell out. Like, she's like, oh, dang, binding link, I'm gone. I'm not getting exercised again.
Gosh darn it, Meg.
Sam is then laying on the ground. He clearly has no idea what's going on. He's like on the ground. He and Dean were just, like, physically fighting each other. Bobby just burnt his arm, and he's like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh my gosh.
And that's immediately compounded, because he's like, did I miss something? And then Dean just socks him in the face.
Oh no.
Like, there's no words to be like, yeah, you missed something. No, just punched in the face immediately. They're then, like, getting drinks, and Dean's, like, icing his face, and Bobby's like, hey, you guys don't happen to know a guy named Steve Wendell, do you? Because he just got murdered. And the boys are like, I know we've never heard of him before either, but Bobby definitely knows. That Sam/Meg killed Steve. He's like, well, if I did happen to know anything, I think I would be getting out of here, because his fans are going to be super mad about it.
Oh no, he does have friends.
And Bobby also gives them some charms to prevent them from being possessed again. So now they have these charms that we are, like, never going to see again. But I think they should have kept wearing the charms.
His jewelry.
Yeah, because I'm always pro-jewelry. This is a pro-jewelry podcast.
Yes.
Bobby's like, be careful, and they're like, you too, and the boys leave. Sam is being super devastated and angsty because he was awake for some of it, and he remembers killing Steve Wendell. And Dean's like, I really have empathy for that, like, I'm sorry that happened to you, and Sam's like, no, I'm not upset about this. I'm upset because I killed that guy, and I almost carved Joe up, and you did not kill me. And Dean's like, yeah, because it wasn't you. And Sam's like, well, what if next time it is? Are you gonna kill me then? I don't think you're gonna be able to do it. And Dean says, I don't have to do it. I only promised Dad that I would do it if I couldn't save you, and I only promised you that I would do it if I couldn't save you, and I'm going to save you if it is the literal last thing I do. Dean then, like, laughs a little bit to himself because Sam had a girl inside of him for, like, a week.
Ew. I mean, not you, like, that he had a girl in him, but like, you that Dean decides to point it out.
Dean is, like, 12. It is kind of like the joke, but, you know, it's very in character for Dean, and it does make Sam laugh, which is the goal.
There we go.
It lightened the mood a little bit so that we could end the episode on a not horrible note.
You know, I think part of the danger of demons is that we know that they can, like, access your mind and your memories.
Yeah.
So the last conversation made me remember that, like, Meg did such a good job imitating Sam because she was taking advantage of feelings that were already there.
Mm-hmm.
So we see that because Sam was kind of mad that Dean didn't kill him when he was hurting people.
Yeah, and he had those mood swings that he didn't tell Dean about.
Yeah.
Those happened before Meg got here.
I mean, she could have been lying about those, but like...
She could have.
But she also could not have.
Yeah.
It's likely either way.
Yeah. So let's do some weekly